only that, SRB2 dude made a video. Why competitive Splatoon 3 is dying. Explosion sound. Let's watch it. It's 20 minutes? God damn. All right.
Is competitive Splatoon dying? This is a topic that I've been wanting
Yes.
to talk about for, well, at least a week now, but I haven't had the time. But I'm here now to talk about it because better late than never.
Dude, I thought my video was late, okay? I made my video like 1 week late to the discussion. Dude's like 2 weeks late. Look at his face. Wait, I should make full screen.
About it because better late than never. This is a topic in the competitive Splatoon scene that sparked about a week ago.
Subscribe, everybody.
I feel like I have some views on it that I feel could be, I guess, somewhat educational for some of you guys and give you another perspective of how I'm looking at the Splatoon competitive scene and how I feel like it could improve in any way. So if you've been subscribed to my channel within Splatoon 3 and you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, let me introduce you guys to myself. Hello, I'm Dude,
Who are you?
SW2 Dude.
Who
I've
is
been
that
a competitive
man?
Splatoon player since 2015. I've been making content around competitive Splatoon, how to get better and all sorts. I'm a double UK champion. I'm a Genesis 6 champion.
Ah, okay, sure. Wait, for the first UK championship? I didn't know about. That was a Mickey Mouse tournament, dude.
Competitive Splatoon, how to
That's
get better
a Mickey
and all
Mouse
sorts.
tournament right there.
I'm a double UK champion. I'm a Genesis 6 champion. I'm a Don't Park on the Grass champion. I'm a double LISS champion. During Splatoon 1, you could say that I was part of a Splatoon team that was winning multiple online tournaments and going undefeated for a very, very long time. That team at the time was known as Chimera and then, of course, shifted to other things. During the Splatoon 2 period, I was a part of a team known as Team Olive, which was also a very strong European Splatoon. We know. So this is coming from an account called Gray. Gray is an amazing Splatoon player. I've known Gray since.
Isn't that person known for Sonic? My favorite Sonic YouTuber, that SRP2 dude. Let's go.
Of course, Splatoon 1, especially during the cooldown days. And ever since that point, Gray has worked so hard to make it to where he is in terms of Splatoon today. He's a European champion. He's a 4-time French champion, meaning he's won every single French champs that has ever been there. And since Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3, he's consistently been grinding and been at the top, playing against some of the best players within the Western scene. So I'm going to read this tweet, and after it, it's going to make sense of how the rest of the video, I guess, is going to go. But let's get into it. Splatoon is becoming very boring to me. Tournaments are well organized and frequent, but our issue is our player base. The West's top level player base has been a complete joke for the past few months, and I'm not sure how we can realistically fix this. For the first time in Splatoon 3, I've just not been caring about improving. The game is fun, but in my region, I'm not playing real Splatoon. I don't have fun. We're fighting the same players, the same boring weapons. No one is trying. Why should I? Sorry for the small run. I just need to get this off my chest. It's just a shame because there are a couple of players I really enjoy playing with, but the scene is at its lowest, and with the Gacha King ending, which is a Japanese tournament that happened, and I streamed it, and some of you guys watched it, of course. Plus, note that, kids, I'm not sure how we're supposed to recover from this. Then he goes into a couple of things saying how some of his scrims are boring and all the tournaments have been snooze fest and all that. I don't think low level is thriving coming from a Div 7 player. I know, like for low level, I really can't say anything because I don't have any like points where I come close to low level players, or like I don't watch anything from low level, so I can't really judge anything about that, really. Yeah. Every Japanese top level player has a channel with over 20k subs. Yeah. The Japanese like just upload unedited gameplay and get like 100k views. It's actually insane. Right now, the best undercover is next to 100k subs. What the fuck? What the fuck? I mean, low infrastructure is good, I think, because like especially because of low ink. Low ink is like the pillar of low level right now. This year is just anything mid level and upward. Yeah. Low level has tons of tournaments, tons of interest, but no one who wants to put in effort. That's the current state of most levels. I mean, yeah. I mean, they have fun at low level, so why should they go higher? Is a thought they might have. I don't know. Like why improve when they see the state of top level?
why would you really want to get there? Especially mid-level, just right now feels like a void, especially you.
That type of stuff,
All right.
etc. You get the gist. So when I'm looking at this, personally, how I see it is just that this is just a person ranting and they just want the best for Splatoon. They want the players around them to be pushing themselves and wanting to get better around them, because then...
Oh, Luscious, I think I know that channel. I think I follow them. Because they make like very cool videos, like they explain a lot of stuff. And they also have like English subtitles, I think.
And of course, it's just going to be more fun conversation as things go on. That's basically the general gist of this entire tweet. It's just a dude ranting. And of course, this is specifically towards players within the top level of Western Splatoon and all that jazz. So like I mentioned, I said that this specific tweet was the sole reason for what the Splatoon community did next. In terms of, I guess, Twitter shenanigans and all of that type of stuff. I feel like people looked at this tweet and they used it in a way, or I guess twisted it a little bit and over-exaggerated and made it seem or feel like the entirety of competitive Splatoon is dying. This tweet almost got 1,000 likes and almost 68,000 views, which is a lot of views. And a few members from the competitive Splatoon community did what they do best.
Like now, no, it's not supposed to be like that. I don't know why it dropped down there. I never moved the chat. I don't know how it got down there.
Which is over-exaggerate. Now, currently, that over-exaggeration
Maybe the Splatoon competitive are the friends we made along the way, guys.
Is over. But the thing is, I do think there is some good that we can take from this, because I feel like it did spark a good conversation of what are the issues within the Western competitive scene currently. I think one of the biggest things that is an issue in terms of the competitive scene is that the competitive Splatoon scene in the West lacks a lot of identity. What I mean by this is that when you think of competitive Splatoon 3, what teams and what players do you think about? You think about, of course, Chara. You think about Moonlight. You might think about Kiva, which I don't think is currently playing on a team right now. You might also think about Kyo. But apart from that, who else do...
Hey, yo! Hey, yo! The disrespect! The disrespect!
we think about? Like, that's only about 5 things. Like, you might also think about me too, but excluding me, who else do you think about within competitive Splatoon 3? And get this, notice that I've only mentioned one team. And the reason why I've only mentioned one team is because I can only think of one team. I only think of Moonlight. The reason for why I know Moonlight is there is because that's the team Chara coaches. But who else is there? If we were to go back in time and...
The first person I think of when I think top level is Toyoben. Thank you! Somebody said it! Let's go! Let's go!
Look at the competitive Splatoon 1 days. Now, I just want to also mention, if you're a reviewer within the competitive Splatoon...
Dude, so cunning. Why do you bait me like that? Who thinks of my goat, Mr. Super Handsome? Yeah, I mean J-Moji. Okay, shut the fuck up.
Splatoon 1 days, you would probably know what I'm talking about. You had teams like Squids Next Door, Get Kraken,
Who was that?
Moons,
Who was that?
Team Olive,
Did I know those
Blues,
guys?
Cooper Clan. You
I know
had
those guys.
SRL. You had the Squid
Don't know them.
Box.
Don't know
you had
them.
Komodo. You had
Don't know them.
Overlook. Like, do you see
Don't
what
know
I'm
them.
saying? Is like, I feel like back in the day, it
Bro,
was
it's like
really...
it's like listening to your grandpa. It's really so cool. Because all of those
really
teams, I
easy
know
to
like two.
recognize a team and recognize the players within that team. But nowadays, I feel like it's really hard to follow competitive Splatoon because I feel like a good majority of tournaments are revolved around pickups. And if you're a viewer watching a competitive Splatoon tournament and you choose to watch it, and of course, you might see some great Splatoon and all of that type of stuff, but how can you continue to follow the team that you may be wanting to win?
Bro, don't call me grandpa. I started 1 year in Splatoon 2, okay? I'm young and hip with the kids. I don't know what the youth wants nowadays. Does Black Lotus still exist? Yes. But they have a different roster, I think. Jay's quite handsome, yes. That is true. Unsettling pause. Unsettling pause frame. Dude, look at him. He's rizzing us up.
if at the same time a lot of the players don't have their own identities. I think it makes it really hard to watch a tournament if you're not already in competitive Splatoon and you have absolutely no idea who is playing. Which is going to lead into my next thing, which is something I've mentioned time and time again. Top players and competitive players should make content. I'm not saying you have to. You can do whatever you want. However,
dude, this is just my video.
It's really important that if you are a top player or a competitive Splatoon player at any level, you should make some sort of content on competitive Splatoon. The reason for why you should is because it gives a reason for a viewer who wants to watch competitive Splatoon a reason just to follow your tournaments. I'm just gonna be real, you can be the absolute best competitive player in the West or whatever, but no one is going to care to watch you if you don't put anything out there or give any reason for people to want to follow you. If you've ever wondered why not more people watch some of the, I guess, the top players within the Western scene, it's because basically it's just nothing to follow. Like, it legitimately could be as simple as, okay, I play competitive Splatoon. I'm going to teach you about something about Splatoon. I'm going to teach you something about team play. I'm going to teach you something about this specific weapon. I'm going to just talk about it. I don't have to, like, you don't have to do some crazy edits for it. Like, you can legitimately just talk about your thought process. I generally think stuff like that for any competitive Splatoon player or any top player can be so valuable, because that gives people who are at lower levels or mid levels so much more information and so much more understanding of how they can get better at the game. Which of course leads to my next thing. I feel that is how a lot of people actually get better at the game, because if top players are talking about how you get better or showing examples and showing how you do X, Y, and Z, that's going to inspire players to actually want to get better. Like, I generally feel like you have to show what you do so people understand how to play Splatoon at that level. Like, don't hide what you do in your scrims. Stream your scrims, if anything.
Can't read chat. Sorry, I'm very slow. Everybody plays pencil. Yes, it has seen nothing on YouTube. Yep. Yeah, there's not a single pencil guide out there, I think. At least not from a single good player. Especially had some top players from southern Germany. Big carry for the Splatoon community. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you say that. Hey, Ghost Rennie. No, is the real for that? No more weapon guides, please. Even for the lower tiers. I don't care what. I just want to hear people yap about the weapons. I mean, I said that too. You know that I said the same thing in my video. I said the same thing. Nobody listens to me. At least Dude is telling them now, so maybe they listen to Dude.
Stream your scrims and put it on YouTube. And look, I know some top players out there that do stream and do post on Twitter, but I am just going to say, if you stream on Twitch and if you just post on Twitter, no one is going to find your content.
The same thing.
No one is going to find those specific things on that content, which is what I mean. Let me be clear. You have to document it. So if you stream it, post it on YouTube.
I said the same thing. Dude, I am listening to myself. This is 20 minutes of the same thing I said. We think alike, you and I, dude. We think alike.
If you have a tweet, talk about it in a video, post it on YouTube. Make it so it's accessible and documented so that lower level players or mid-level players can actually find that educative content.
Yes,
don't look at myself, don't look at Chara, don't look at people who have already established themselves to gas you guys up. There may be times and there may be like events and stuff where we might talk about you, but the channels that we have developed and created aren't for you. We haven't developed them for you. We've developed them for ourselves, and we've developed them to lift the competitive scene or just the general Splatoon community up as much as we can. You guys have to do it yourself. You guys have to make yourselves more discoverable, because if you...
Yeah, I can get you all the time. But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like, I mean, like, you can't blame Dude that Dude is not doing enough for the competitive scene. I just don't know. I think Dude hasn't done much competitive related content. I think Dude has been very much catering to more casual audience. Maybe he was like the gateway drug for people to get into competitive. They thought like, wow, okay, this guy's really good. And then maybe if they follow Dude, they see some Chara content, or like if they're on Twitter or something somewhere else, and they maybe see that Dude retweets a tweet from a top level competitive play, and that's maybe the gateway to comp. So yeah, it would be very cheap of me to blame Dude that he hasn't been doing enough for competitive. Dude kind of was my gateway into comp. Okay, like I think Dude doesn't do competitive related content, really, right? Maybe I'm not following him enough or his content enough to see what he did. But I think that Chara did a lot more content about competitive. So yeah, I didn't see that in Dude, but he said it himself, like that wasn't his goal, and people have to do the work themselves. Says the person that has all of the big Splat tubers in his bingos. I know, it kind of maybe a bit of ironic. Who knows?
The only thing is that you're streaming on Twitch. No one is going to find your Twitch because Twitch is the most undiscoverable live stream site that is out there. And yes, this is me being a Twitch ambassador and a Twitch partner for, I don't even know now, maybe 9 years, coming up to 10 years now. But I'm saying
Chase, yeah, Chase maybe as well. I think Chase is more of a gateway than Dude even, because Chase is in a team. And I think Chase even made videos about his team maybe at one point. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't want to put out too much misinformation there. Just a tiny bit. Squid School is banned, I think, and doesn't do any content anymore. He did educational stuff for like beginners, I think, mostly. Some of it was a bit catered towards mid and high level, but mostly just beginner tips. But yeah, he's not here anymore, so who cares?
Just because this is just the facts of the situation. And some might say, oh my god, but why can't Nintendo help us? Why can't Nintendo do more to help us and lift us up and give us recognition and all that type of stuff? And personally, I'm just gonna be real, I think it falls into the same thing. Of course, I do think there are some things I feel Nintendo could do more of, which I would have to say that
some things? Nintendo could do some things more. Just a few.
As probably a whole topic for another video. However, I feel like Nintendo would help more if there was something. Because in my opinion,
yeah, something. Just one thing. Just one thing is missing, Nintendo. Maybe 2. Maybe 5. But yeah, one big tournament is missing.
Really hard to notice if there isn't really any.
Squid School isn't banned. He's not posted until his lawsuit is done. Whoa. I didn't know.
Anything there. All competitive players should be doing their part if they want the scene to grow. And I'm not just saying that everyone should just become a content creator. It's just that easy, because of course it's not. Not everyone is cut out for this, and not everyone can, and that's perfectly okay. However, what I'm trying to do is, let's just say I'm trying to motivate you guys to do something, because honestly, you cannot wait for those opportunities to just be fed to you just because this is you. This type of recognition needs to be earned and sustained, and it's up to you to actually do your best to try to do that. Now, going on to my next thing, which is in my notes. I've actually wrote notes for this video because this is actually something I don't normally do, but this is the next thing that's in my notes. This might
just wait until Nintendo supports comp, but just Turf War. They're like, okay guys, we need to record a few minutes of gameplay for our new advertisement. So if you could just play Turf War in this tournament, we'll pay for everything, but you have to play Turf War. We need it for the new ads, guys. We can't show ranked modes. We cannot show them.
Might be considered a hot take within the West, but in my opinion, sometimes I feel like the West of Splatoon wants to be like Japan so badly. And this kind of leads back into my identity, like building up the West's identity up. Because currently I don't feel like the...
Okay, I didn't talk about that in my video. So let's listen.
Western scene has much of an identity because it's so hard to recognize anybody in competitive Splatoon currently. I feel like some members in the community would like the West of Splatoon to be more like Japan or merge with Japan in some way. I'm just gonna be real, this is not realistic at all, because just on the sole fact, there is a language barrier. A good majority of people within Japan do not speak English. A good majority of people who are English don't speak Japanese. I'm not saying that the West and Japan.
They should replace turf in the official tourneys with tricolor, to be honest. Dude, how would you do that? What the fuck? Whew. There should be a day where, like, this year, everyone in the community should try put out one piece of Splatoon content on the same day. It could be a shorter video or guide all under the same hashtag on YouTube, and just have so much Splatoon content be posted for comp players. It could be a scrim highlight, for example, and have the search of Splatoon YouTube content drop on one day. And then nobody does content ever again. That's the one time. That's the one single time. Yeah, there's also language barriers in the West, but most people speak English. But yeah, I think Dude's take here is very valid. Like, I think I very much agree with him. But yeah, of course we'd like to be like Japan, have more players, more viewers on everything, more content, like in Japan.
And can't play together because, you know, those clashes, they're really, really interesting when that does happen. But it being a fully merged scene is something that probably will never happen. Like, I couldn't imagine a bunch of people from Japan wanting to watch a stream from mine because they don't understand what I'm saying, just solely on the fact because it's a language barrier. And I know that the Japanese Splatoon scene is massive. I know it's huge. Like, you see...
You know what else is massive?
Some of the streamers out there are just pulling thousands of views, like tens of thousands of views sometimes. Some of the top Japanese players are megastars in their scene. And, you know, one thing I'm actually going to mention, which is going to kind of go back to the identity thing again. Japan has their own identity. And the thing you probably would notice is that almost every single top player, every single competitive player, or good majority of competitive players, make videos on YouTube non-stop. They're posting their games of things that are happening. They're posting their thoughts of things that are happening, whether it be patch notes, whether it be news, whether it just be a game that they want to show off, or just a scrim that they want to show off, or absolutely everything. There are so many players posting stuff, but when we look at the West, not a lot of that is happening. Like, it's kind of embarrassing that I can only really name 5 or 6 like prominent things or people, or I guess the one team.
I'm not one of them.
Within competitive West Splatoon, because in general, not a lot of people are doing that. And because all these people within Japan are constantly...
I think Choco Perry has also like 90k? Or does Choco have over 100k subs? I don't know. But yeah, like so many of them have like close to 100k subs.
Posting something new.
Dude, don't say Toyoben.
This is what I'm doing.
You're in my chat.
This game and it was
you
pretty
know
cool.
Me.
There's just a constant flow of content that's going into Japanese competitive Splatoon, and that allows new players to actually pick up on it and follow it, and that allows people who are just interested in Splatoon just to, of course, just pick up the game just in general. Which is why I feel like the Japanese scene has so much more identity in comparison to the West, because we need to develop our own identity. This might even be a hotter take, but I'm just gonna say the amount of opportunities or content opportunities that could have come from the West if every single person from the West actually plays against each other with an X battle where you have all the top competitive players within the West play against each other. Some might be facing some solo queue warriors, and some might actually get discovered from a certain top player and all that type of jazz. If we played more within our own scene in that case, the amount of content opportunities that could come from that is, well, basically lost, because there's this stipulation where some feel that you have to play in Takaroka region because they're...
I think that take is interesting. I don't know, it's like a thing I say would maybe get overlooked by a lot of people, and I don't think that has a very big impact. I think it's just you can, but I don't know. I know what to say right now, but all right. I think that it's not a bad thing that so many Western top players play in JPX rank, because you can't blame them. They're looking for the best practice, and the best practice simply is Japanese X rank. So yeah, they would have to all agree at the same time to be like, let's all move over to NA, and I just don't see that happening. I don't think that it's realistic. Um, yeah, and I think, as I said, you can't blame them for looking for the best practice out there.
Then you're playing real Splatoon. This might be a gray area again. Not all of you have to agree with that. Like, if you want to play in Takaroka, that's fine. I'm not here to tell you what you should and should not play. At the end of the day, you have to do what is right for you. But I'm putting out there the missed opportunity I feel that can develop the Western scene more, which is basically the point of this video. Like, I just feel like it all generally just starts with the players, and it's just not a thing where the players are waiting for something to happen so that they feel like that they can do certain things. So in conclusion, is competitive Splatoon dying? Now, of course, there will be some points where it rises up. There's going to be some points where it declines. I mean, that's just normal within every single competitive scene or anything, or literally just any game in general. Like, in every single game, like, a game will release, and of course, it will reach its peak, obviously. But I'm just going to be real, because it's just so, like, mind-boggling that people even think this, that people look at it like, oh my god, okay, the game just came out and it's on the rise. It's going crazy. But the moment, like, of course, that initial period of, okay, things have just been crazy. You know, the new game just came out and, like, it's been a year or two. People instantly say, oh my god, it's just, everything is dying. Everything is just so...
I mean, if it's decreasing, it's slowly going towards its death, right? So it's in the process of dying. Am I right, Chad? I'm not going to change the title of my video. Nope.
Bad. This is bad. This is horrible. Mainly because it's not a new game anymore. And it's just so obvious that there's some certain decline, mainly because people are playing other games. People are going on with life. People are trying different things. They're not just bounded to this one game for life. Like, this is so normal in every single gaming community, and it's annoying to see that in any game ever, someone will say that the game is dying because their friend Andy or Tom or Timmy decided to leave because they wanted to go play the new Marvel Rivals game. I posted about this on my Blue Sky, which I'll just show you guys right here. Happy New Year, by the way. To say this in the most uncorniest way, the Splatoon competitive scene will only die if the people choose to allow it to die. It's
the thing is, like, I think right now the game is dying. I think it's not controversial to say that. I think right now the competitive and the game are both dying in the West, not in Japan, in the West. I mean, in Japan also the popularity is probably decreasing just because the game is getting old. But still, right now it's in the process of dying. It's up to us if we want to, like, make it die less. But I guess, well, like, if you want to stop this process and, like, yeah, boost popularity of competitive again. I mean, I think it's not just the age of a game that is the most important thing for its popularity, of course. Because, like, if you look at something like Melee, a 30-year-old game that is, like, at the peak of its popularity right now, that should show you what can be done if you just put a lot of effort into making stories and being an interesting community, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what I was yapping about. Sorry. Let's continue.
Up to the people to make stuff happen instead of waiting for it to happen. Don't just sit. Just do and create. All right?
That's the same thing I said at the end of my video.
You have to. Anyone can put some fuel or some gas into a car to make it move. So it's up to you to put that fuel and gas to make that car go vroom vroom, all right? And to put a bit of spotlight on this, because funny enough, at the same time of when this whole thing was going on, there was this account called Splatoon Tourney that made this amazing trailer, which I am going to put into my description of this video. But they made this amazing trailer called the Splatoon 3 LAN Championship Showdown that basically explain there are a bunch of LAN events which you should definitely go to if you're interested in competitive Splatoon in any way, but a bunch of LAN events throughout the entirety of
Guys.
USA. Well, maybe
No,
not the
no, don't
entirety
move
of
your
USA,
mouse.
but of course you have like California, you have Texas, you have
I wanna
Florida,
hold
you
hands
have
with you.
New York. You pretty much have a bunch of regions
Man.
in Splatoon, and basically I think the idea of this is basically getting the region winner of each LAN event or community LAN event, and then basically having all those teams play against each other. It's a pretty simple concept, but whoever thought of that idea, like, pat on the back to you, because this is the type of stuff that we need to see. This is the type of stuff that can allow viewers or just allow people interested in competitive Splatoon to actually want to follow this. In fact, I actually want to follow this because I think it's going to just be a really interesting thing to see which region within the USA performs better.
Yeah, 100%. I 100% agreed with this take, and also I think I reposted a trailer when I saw it on Twitter and Blue Sky. Really amazing idea. But then my point is that Europe doesn't have any of that. So like, yeah, NA might be doing a bit of an effort, but EU is just dead. There's nothing. There's zero. Scorched earth. Nothing else.
Better within the entire region. Like, I think this stuff is really, really cool in the West, and I think we need,
but not for long,
to see more of it. So this is the type of stuff that builds identity, all right? This is 110% a really long-winded video, but it's just a lot of stuff that I really want to get out there. So yeah, that's honestly all I needed to say. The Splatoon competitive scene in the West lacks a lot of identity, just briefly just mentioned, and it needs to build itself up. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed. Share it around if you thought I said something like substantial or good or educative or anything like that. Just send it around, because you know, I want competitive Splatoon to prosper. I want it to do as best it can. Like, I put thousands of hours in this game because I really like playing it competitively. Like, of course, I don't play it as competitive now these days because, you know, your boy's getting older. I wouldn't say my skill is deteriorated. I would only say it's improved, but, you know, there's only so much time I can actually put into the game. Of course, trying to run my channel, and of course, trying to find a group of players that are within my age and also do content or stuff like that, because it's really, really hard to find.
Okay, I'm not that old. I'm not that old. I was like, I also do content. We could make a team. I'm not that old. I don't fit that criteria, sadly. Maybe Watson is up to it if he ever when he comes back.
That at this point in time, and finds people to have that same vision as me. So yeah, no, that's basically all I've got to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and even if you don't even play competitive Splatoon, you just wanted to listen, I hope you enjoyed listening. All right, so thank you so much. It's been a bit of a run, and I will see you guys in a future video. Happy New Year, by the way.
Thank you, dude. I thought I would disagree on more stuff, but I think that basically I said a lot of the same in my video. I don't think he watched my video, so I don't blame him for saying mostly or pretty much the same things. But yeah, I hope that people listen to dude. I hope they do. And yeah, that's really everything I have to say about that, really. I think the one take about X rank was something that I disagree with, but besides that, I would say everything is very much a good take. So yeah, thank you guys for watching on the second channel.